Oh, okay. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be for another movie preview for you guys. Yes, once again, October is over. Again, of course, went by very quickly. This is going to be for the November movie preview, the last regular. I fucking do that every time. Holy fuck. This is.
Wait, do you always forget to close the fucking stream?
Yeah, I always fucking do that. So annoying.
He always. Oh my god.
God damn it.
Anyway, I think every time Tony's been on, I've done that. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about all the movies that are coming out in November. This, of course, is going to be the last regularly structured movie preview. I'll talk to you guys about that at the end of this video. But of course, first I'm going to introduce my guest. With me, as always, he's on my channel way too much. It is the Tiger Master himself, Tony Estrada.
Oh yeah, I've totally been on this channel more than Adam Haskell as of lately. Adam Haskell, my condolences for you. But yeah, thank you so much, Kevin, for bringing me on. I look forward to talking about these movies. And besides for one movie, I'm not looking forward to introducing. I am looking forward to introducing the rest of the movies.
Mm-hmm. All right, and second with me here today is on my channel 2 times before. Shut the fuck up. He makes a lot of weird noises. He likes a lot of really shitty music, and he preferred Power Rangers over Wonder Woman. But here he is.
Blade Runner. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, that too. FilmFan0599.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again. I'm back on another movie preview. It's been a while. What was the last one I was on? August. It's been a while, so I'm here for the November movie preview, and yeah, this shall be fun because Kevin messes up every 5 seconds, so this should be great.
True. All right, guys, so we're just going to get into it right now. There isn't as many movies coming out as last month. That's still not saying a lot because November and December are still very, very packed months. There's still a lot of movies coming out. So we're just going to get into it right now, starting off with today, actually. Now, I say today because we're filming this on November 1st, but when this actually will come out, this movie will have been out for a couple days now, but it actually came out today. It's a sequel to a movie I haven't seen. That is A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Trailer plays, do.
Is that going to be a new thing?
Yeah.
All right, so A Bad Mom's Christmas, like I said, I have not seen the first film. It just wasn't a movie that I was particularly interested in for some reason. I didn't get a chance to really watch it. But this one, on the other hand, yeah, this really doesn't look that great at all. The first one looked okay. This really doesn't look great. I really don't understand the point in making this movie. To me, this just seems like, oh, the first movie was moderately successful. These actresses need something to do. Let's just make a quick buck and we'll just make a random Christmas special and put it in the theaters. Because to me, that's what this seems like. This seems like one of those things where you go on, like, say, HBO and they have, like, a 50-minute special. It doesn't at all seem like something that could warrant a whole movie. I really don't understand the need for this. I don't really think there's many people that want it. I mean, sure, there are people I'm sure that enjoy Bad Moms, but I don't think there's anyone like, oh, we really need Bad Moms 2. I can't wait for a Bad Moms 2. And I don't really see that happening. I'd rather have this than Bad Dads. I'll definitely say that. I definitely rather have this, but this still really looks pretty bad. I like the actresses in here, but just in general, it looks so unnecessary. It looks like such a cash grab, and it really only seems like they put it here to have a movie to compete with Thor. That's really it. But even though they put it 2 days before Thor, I don't really understand why they did that. But that's really what I have to say. So, Tony, what do you want to say?
Yeah, for me, I did see the original Bad Moms the last summer, and I thought it was, it's fine. There were some laughs. I'm not gonna deny there were some times where I did laugh pretty dang hard, but most of the time the humor just didn't land. The storyline really isn't all that great. The subplot with Christina Applegate is stupid as hell. Oh my god. But overall, it's a movie that I just sat through, didn't really regret watching. It's just like, okay, that happened. But when it comes to this one, A Bad Mom's Christmas, Yeah, it doesn't really look good. It looks a little bit weaker than the first film, to be honest. It just looks kind of a step down from the first film. I do really like Kristen Bell and Mila Kunis. I'm a huge fan of both of them. Catherine Hahn's like whatever to me, but I am a huge fan of both of those actresses. And of course, the actresses coming in to play their moms, like I'm very interested in seeing, especially with Susan Sarandon. Definitely with her. She looks like she could be a very entertaining character from the trailer. But really, besides that, yeah, it just doesn't look like there's much going for it. And I do love Christmas movies. Like, if anyone knows me, Christmas is the holiday I look most forward to every single year.
Oh, same here.
I'm all about Christmas. I'm all about them Christmas movies. But this one just does not look like one of those good Christmas movies. Hope it surprises me. I hope it could be just a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I'm not really that impressed with the Bad Moms Christmas, personally.
All right, Double Nine.
This looks terrible. Oh, God almighty. I haven't even seen the original Bad Moms. Like, I kind of avoided it. I kind of just didn't want to see it. But...
Whoops, not the show.
Yeah, this looks bad. Honestly, from the acting to the comedy, just everything about this just seems awful. I always hate it when, like, they try to cash in, when movies like this try to cash in with, like, a Christmas type of theme.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
Like, the Friday franchise did this with Friday After Next. They made it a Christmas movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It was stupid. And... oh, God, this movie just, it looks awful, honestly. And I really have no expectations whatsoever for it.
Yeah, like we said, Bad Moms Christmas. If you guys are looking forward to it, it already has come out. You still can't review it. There's still an embargo for some reason, but it does, in fact, come out today. If you guys...
I've already watched some video reviews for the movie, though.
Well, there's still an embargo on it, so there's no rating on Rotten Tomatoes for some reason. But... either way, guys, like we said, not really much interest in this film. But the real first film of November, coming in hot, Tony is going to introduce.
And I am so happy I'm introducing this because people say I look like the Incredible Hulk, and it makes sense. That movie is going to be Thor Ragnarok.
Trailer, please.
Shh.
Yeah, this movie looks like shit. No, I'm just joking. This is obviously one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I mean, obviously, you people know I'm joking when you've seen my anticipated list and when you've seen, like, my anticipated movies of this fall. I put this at, like, my number 7, so it's definitely in my honorable mentions. I can't wait for Thor Ragnarok. And the MCU... I know maybe not everyone can agree, but the MCU for me this year has been really good, with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 being a very solid movie, and Spider-Man Homecoming being a great movie. That was a little bit better than I expected, actually. So I can't wait to see how they handle Thor Ragnarok. I look forward to seeing the dynamic between Thor and Hulk. And I'm hearing that this is very, very heavy on comedy. And I know a lot of the Marvel movies do have comedy, but from what I've been hearing from the reviews, this has, like, a lot of reliance when it comes to comedy. So I look forward to seeing how that goes and the different style that they're going to take with Thor Ragnarok. And, of course, Cate Blanchett as the antagonist. I look forward to that. And I just want this movie to be just really fun. Just give me that grand theatrical experience and just do what most MCU movies do, which is just be very successful. And yeah, honestly, that's all I can really say. I can't wait for this movie. I'm so pumped. I hope to see it very, very soon because dang it, those trailers, man, do they have me sucked into this. Oh yeah, and Jeff Goldblum, can't wait to see him in the film too.
God himself.
All right, so for me with Thor Ragnarok, obviously I am very much looking forward to this movie, but I have really not been a fan of the first two Thors. I thought the first one was actually okay, but the second one really I did not think was that great. Honestly, I really was not a fan of that one. I thought it was really rather boring and had a really underwhelming villain. I just really was not a fan of that one at all. Minus Loki and Thor's chemistry, I just really could not get into that one. This, however, this looks like the movie that Thor really does need. It really looks like they're going all in with the comedy here, which is fine. I think the reason the first one for me worked is because of the fact that there was a little bit, you know, of that self sort of reliance on humor, them knowing that, you know, this isn't something they take too seriously. This one looks like it functions even better, and they really have so much going for them here. I mean, between the dynamic with Hulk, of course, you do have Loki in there. You got Jeff Goldblum in this movie. Tessa Thompson's character, you know, I heard she's fantastic as well. This movie just seems like it has everything going for it. Marvel has been exceptional this year, you know, between Guardians and Spider-Man Homecoming, and I feel like this really will just be a really triumphant way to close out what has probably been one of the strongest years for the MCU. I am obviously very excited for this movie. I do plan on seeing it tomorrow, and I say tomorrow, but again, I don't know when I'm actually going to get this up. We'll just have to see when that does turn out. But Thor Ragnarok is obviously one of the films I'm most looking forward to this month. It's not the film I'm most looking forward to this month. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I am still extremely pumped for this film, and yeah, but Double Nine.
Unlike Kevin, this is my most anticipated film of the entire month. I can't wait for this movie. I am so excited for it. This just looks like a big old giant fun fest. That's what this mainly looks like. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows me by now. I love these Marvel movies. They are all really great to me. I do enjoy them a lot. And this seems like it's going to be another great installment in the MCU. Looks like it's gonna have some great comedy to it. I can't wait to see the banter between Thor and Hulk. That's probably my most anticipated thing about this whole movie, is to see their banter between each other. I heard they take elements from the Planet Hulk comic into this for this movie, which that interests me so much because I love that comic a lot. So I'm interested to see where they take that element with it. And yeah, and I can't wait to see Kate Blanchett as Helen. I think she's going to be a really great villain. So yeah, Thor Ragnarok. And also, I love the color scheme with it. The color scheme looks really great with it. Like, I really love just all the bright colors and stuff like that. It just looks so colorful. So yeah, Thor Ragnarok. Very, very excited for this movie. Definitely my most anticipated movie of November.
All right, guys. So Thor Ragnarok, if you are looking forward to it, which I'm sure most of you are, it does come out on November 3rd. Probably going to end up being maybe the biggest movie this month. It does have some competition, but I do think it has a chance to be easily one of the biggest movies of this month for sure.
Really only one movie has competition.
Yeah, that's really it.
We'll get about
it a little bit later, but either way, so of course we do have these big blockbuster films, but then we also have a ton, because, you know, it is the end of the year. We have a lot of Oscar movies, and unfortunately there are a lot of films in here that honestly do look like Oscar baits, and sadly Double Nine does have the misfortune of introducing one of them.
And that is Richard Linklater's Last Flag Flying. Oh shit, let me restart that. Sorry, let me restart that. I thought it was Last Flag Dying for some reason at first. Okay. And that is, unfortunately, Richard Linklater's Last Flag Flying. Trailer plays. All right. This movie, I mean, you know, I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't seen a lot of Richard Linklater's movies. I've only actually seen one. I've only seen School of Rock, and that's it. But
you ever seen Boyhood?
No, I've never seen Boyhood, actually.
Oh, shit, you gotta get on that.
But you know, I know a lot of people. He's kind of mixed with people from what I've seen. I know some people really love him. Some people think he's kind of overrated. But this movie just doesn't look all that interesting to me. Maybe, who knows, it could get a great performance from Bryan Cranston, Steve Carell, and Lawrence Fishburne, but it just doesn't look all that investing to me. It just kind of looks Oscar baity with with very slow talking, moving conversations like that. You know, the typical stuff that Oscars go for and crap like that. But, you know, hopefully it could be a really good movie. It could really surprise me. But overall, just from the look of it, just kind of looks kind of generic and Oscar baity to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Unfortunately, while this film does have a really good cast from top to bottom, I mean, you got Bryan Cranston, Steve Carell, Lawrence Fishburne, all really well-known, veteran actors. Just in general, this movie just isn't really doing it for me. The concept doesn't sound that interesting. It looks honestly kind of boring. And you really did say it best there, Double Nine, where it really does look like a film where it's just there just to get these guys Oscars. You know, obviously Bryan Cranston, he's been nominated before. Steve Carell's been nominated before. It seems like it's just a film that's there to get some really good performances out there, which getting good performances, that's fine. It's just, if it's going to be like Loving, where, you know, we have really good performances, but we don't have that interesting of a story. And I feel like that's something that people who make these Oscar films a lot of times kind of forget, that really with a film, it's really all about your story. Yes, the characters are important. Yes, the actors are important, but the story is really what matters. And I feel like a film like this, it just seems like they're really forgetting it, especially someone like Richard Linklater, who is such a well-known actor for that. I mean, he has, you know, he's known for really great character films. And maybe this movie might have that, but it just seems like he's being kind of lazy on this one. Like, he's just throwing these actors in there, and he's just like, all right, just do your thing. And I'm a big fan of Richard Linklater. I love, you know, stuff, you know, School of Rock, Dazed and Confused, you know, Boyhood, obviously. Just a whole bunch of really, Everybody Wants Some, Fuck You, Tony. I think that's a great movie.
Nope.
But Last Flag Flying in general, I just really don't have much interest in. Again, it has some good performances, but just in general, it just doesn't really look all that great to me. And yeah.
Well, first of all, everybody wants some sucked ass. Deal with it, Kevin.
Well, you know.
And yeah, Richard Linklater, I actually am a fan of him. You know, he's obviously a very talented director and all that. Obviously, you know, I just said it. I personally was not a fan of Everybody Wants Some. That's definitely one of his weakest films. Worst films, I should say. But yeah, for me being a Richard Linklater fan, I have to agree. This one just doesn't look that good. I'm not gonna say it looks horrible. Like, this is not a movie I'm sitting here going, oh man, I am dreading Last Flag Flying. I definitely have maybe a little bit of hope for it because of the cast. Like, I look forward to seeing what Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, and Lawrence Fishburne can do. Like, I hope their chemistry can definitely stand out with this film. But as far as the storyline goes and just the overall execution, it just looks like what you guys have said. It just looks pretty generic. It looks very boring. The dialogue doesn't look very interesting. Like, I hope I'm proven wrong once I do see the movie, but just from this trailer, you know, considering Richard Linklater, a director I really admired, I was really expecting more from this one.
Yeah, definitely. So Last Flag Flying, guys, if you guys are looking forward to it, it does come out on November 3rd. Now, I understand some of you, I forgot to say this, but I know some of these movies probably won't come to your area at first. November and December, it's kind of faulty when these movies are actually going to come out because there's so many, like, limited releases. So, you know, it's coming out November 3rd. I just don't know, like, when it's actually going wide. But if you guys are looking forward to it, does come out then. Now we're going to go from an Oscar baity film to another film, unfortunately, that to me looks very Oscar baity, and that is Roman Israel-esque. All right, guys. So Roman Israel-esque, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Look, again, this is very similar to Last Flag Flying, where we got a really good cast here. That, of course, you know, Denzel Washington, Colin Farrell, and one actress whose name I'm blanking on right now. But just in general, this doesn't look all that great to me. To me, it seems like the only reason this movie was really made is, once again, because Denzel Washington was nominated for Fences, which he was phenomenal in. That movie as a whole was fantastic, but this just seems like it's only being made so this can get Denzel that Oscar. And it just doesn't really look all that great. It looks honestly kind of boring, if I had to be honest with you. There's some moments in the trailer that are kind of, you know, interesting, but you guys know one thing about me. I am not a fan of courtroom dramas. I'm really not. Recently, there's been some really good ones, but ones like this, I just do not like. And this one looks very boring. I am really not all that interested in this, and it sucks because you do have some talent in here. But again, it just seems like a movie that was made just to get some Oscars, and that's really all I have to say about this one.
Is it my turn?
Totally. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this film, I'll be honest, I do have interest in. I do really like the trailer, and I am looking forward to it because it is written and directed by Dan Gilroy. That might sound familiar to a lot of people because he's the same writer and director of a little movie from 2014 called Nightcrawler, which
Oh
people
shit!
really
Okay.
praise. Yeah, and I thought Nightcrawler was pretty good. I like that movie.
Great movie.
I can't wait to see what he does with this. And obviously, he has written a lot of scripts. Like he wrote on Kong Skull Island. He even wrote on Real Steel, Born Legacy. So he's definitely done more writing than directing. But you know, coming from someone who directed Nightcrawler, his last directorial effort, I look forward to seeing how he can handle a more dramatic film. This looks like more like a drama thriller film, whereas Nightcrawler was more like this psychological thriller film.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, for that reason, I'm looking forward to it, and I personally am a fan of courtroom dramas, so I can't wait to see how it's executed. And of course, I can't go wrong with Denzel Washington, easily one of the best actors working today. And then Colin Farrell too. You know, I really love Colin Farrell as well. Very underrated. So So yeah, definitely an interesting premise, and for that reason, I am actually pretty interested in Roman Israel-esque.
All right, double nine.
Wait, hold on a minute. Wait, is it Tony Gilroy or is it Dan Gilroy? Because you say he wrote the Born Legacy. I know he did the Born Legacy.
Dan Gilroy.
It's Dan Gilroy.
Okay, because I was getting confused because I know they both have Gilroy in their names and stuff like that. Hold
on, because I was looking at his IMDb and it said Born Legacy.
Okay, all right. I was
co-wrote that with Tony Gilroy.
I think both the Gilroys wrote
Yeah, they did. They co-wrote that together.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's actually talk about the movie. Look. All right. You know, really the only thing I do have interest in it is because, you know, Dan Gilroy is doing the screenplay and he is directing it too, right?
Yeah, he's the writer and the director.
Yeah, so that's what mainly has my interest with the movie. And, you know, trailer wasn't the best, really. I wouldn't say I didn't like it, really. It's just, it was all right. But I do think maybe the actual movie could be really great. Because, like, I loved Nightcrawler from 2014. That was literally, like, in my top 5 of 2014. I love that movie to death. So I am interested to see what he could do with this movie and whatever, and hopefully it's really good. And you know, I do think Denzel Washington and Colin Farrell do seem like they're going to give really good performances in the film. So yeah, the movie does have my interest to a degree. So yeah.
All right, guys. So Roman Israel-esque, if you are looking forward to it, does come out on November 3rd. Again, to me, just looks kind of Oscar baity, but that's really all I have to say. Now we're going to get to a film that I honestly am really interested in, and Tony is going to introduce.
Okay. And that movie is going to be a little A24 film called Lady Bird.
Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet.
No, fuck off. I've had it with your cringe.
Okay, so I saw this trailer for the first time when I went to go see Home Again. What a weird trailer to play before a movie like that. But yeah, I saw it when I went to go see Home Again. And I'm going to be honest, I was not very impressed. A24, I respect them a lot. They are a very hit and miss studio for me, but when they hit, they really do hit. I respect the studio definitely for what they do with their films. But Lady Bird just does not look that interesting to me, to be honest. Like, I'm not really invested with, I hope I'm saying her name right, Cerise Ronan.
Yeah, Cerise Ronan.
Cerise Ronan, yeah, like, I'm a fan of her. I don't think she gets enough talk as an actress, to be honest. I really like her.
Like, things like that.
Yeah, like she looks like she'll give a great performance, but her character does not really look all that interesting, to be honest. The same thing just goes for the other characters. Oh yeah, Odeya Rush is in here too. I really like her. But yeah, the screenplay, excuse me, does not look that good. The direction looks kind of stale, to be honest, and not even the cinematography really impresses me. And that's a shame because A24 is known for having incredible cinematography, even with their weaker films like It Comes at Night. I hated that film, but I can at least admit the cinematography was very well done for that film. But yeah, not very impressed. Not really looking forward to it. Hope it surprises me, but right now, that's my reaction.
Is that it, Tony?
Yeah.
All right. Let me talk. All right.
Okay. All right.
My stance on Lady Bird, I first became familiar with this film through a review on Letterboxd, who actually compared it to one of my most surprising films of last year, The Edge of 17. You guys know that is one of my top high school films of the decade, might even be my top high school film of the decade, because it just so accurately portrayed high school. And if you guys haven't seen it, enough people have not seen that movie. That is a movie that if you're in high school right now or even in college, see it right now, because it definitely needs to be seen. And this movie, I do see a comparison there. The way that, the character of Lady Bird is in the film, the way a lot of the characters are, yes, there definitely is that comparison. I honestly am really looking forward to it. Looks like a very entertaining film to me. I like the relationship between the mother, Lady Bird and her mother. I think they both look like they're going to give really good performances. Lucas Hedges from Manchester by the Sea, really impressive. And he looks fantastic here as well. Hoping he's really great in this. And it's directed by Greta Gerwig, who overall has really impressed me. I loved her work in Mistress America. I thought she was incredible. Very, very underrated film. Again, not enough people have seen that one either. But she really is a fantastic actress. Haven't really seen her direct a lot of stuff, but she definitely seems like she knows what she's doing from this film. I've heard incredible things about this film overall. I definitely am very much looking forward to it. It has, I believe 100% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, which is incredible. So I am definitely very interested in this one. I think this honestly looks like a very entertaining film, and I'm hoping it's like Edge of 17, where I go in not expecting a ton, because while I was enjoying Edge of 17, I wasn't expecting to be the amazing movie that it was. But it really did end up being. And am I saying that Lady Bird is going to be as strong? No, but I think it has just as much potential as that film really does. So I am definitely very interested in this one, and that's really what I have to say.
Me with Lady Bird, I think it just kind of just looks okay to me. I know this is another one I'm kind of being a Debbie Downer on, but it's just
so there's a lot of films like that this month.
Like SpongeBob in that one episode.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It just kind of just looks okay to me. Saoirse Ronan seems like she might give a good performance and whatever. Lucas Hedges, as I like to call him, he seems like he'll be fine in the movie, I guess. But I gotta agree with Tony. The directing looks very stale with the film. The screenplay doesn't seem all that great. It just looks like another typical A24 movie to me. What can I say? Honestly, more than that. But not saying, I'm not a huge fan of them as a studio. Not saying they haven't made any good movies, because they have. But it's just, I'm not huge on them and their films in general. And this kind of just seems like another one of those type of movies.
All right, so Lady Bird, clearly I'm in a minority within this group, but if you guys are looking forward to it, like I am, and not like these two are, it does come out on November 3rd. I definitely am looking forward to it. Next one, again, we get into that Oscar baity type territory, and again,
damn, this one.
Double Nine has the misfortune of introducing.
We got LBJ. All right, LBJ, man, Woody Harrelson, I love you, man. I know you're trying to get that Oscar. Listen, I get it, my man, I get it, but this just looks so Oscar bait. Like, dang, does this just look like just pure Oscar bait? And listen, it doesn't really look that interesting to me. Who knows? Woody Harrelson could give a real good performance. It might seem like that, but it doesn't look all that interesting to me, honestly. It just looks like, slow and conversations, that heart-wrenching stuff. It's just that typical stuff you would find in like an Oscar bait movie like this, and I'm just not interested in it. I'm not at all. Honestly, I've got really not that much thoughts on this one.
All right, so here's my thing with LBJ. I actually find Lyndon B. Johnson to be a very interesting individual because he was basically forced to become president, of course, after, President Kennedy was shot and whatnot. But the thing is, we just got a movie with him last year, All the Way, which, with Bryan Cranston, which was a fantastic film. And to me, it seems like the only reason they're making this movie is because, oh, that was an HBO film, so it doesn't qualify for an Oscar, so let's make one that does. The problem is this movie doesn't look nearly as interesting as this one does. It looks really fact-based. It looked like they're really rushing through this, honestly, which they are, because it's like a 97-minute movie, and it looks like there's like a lot of stuff they're going to rush through. Woody Harrelson, he's always fantastic. He's one of those actors that really can't give a bad performance, honestly. But he looks like he's good in this film. Bill Pullman, Jennifer Jason Leigh, there are definitely some really well-known and, really great actors and actresses in this film. But again, just like Double Nine said, it just looks like this is just a film made to get those Oscars. And it doesn't really seem like there's much more going for this one, honestly. It really upsets me because there's a lot of stuff here that I think could be good, but it just doesn't really seem like a movie that cares much about delivering an interesting story because, honestly, I'm really not all that interested. The trailer really did not impress me that much at all, but we'll have to see the way it really does turn out. I'm really not hearing good things, surprisingly. I thought this one would get a lot more positive stuff, but I'm not hearing really good stuff, so that's really what I have to say about LBJ.
Yeah, for me, unfortunately, while, the idea of it is nice and all, just the execution of it just looks pretty boring, honestly. And it sucks for me to say that because this is directed by Rob Reiner. And I respect Rob Reiner so much as a director. I mean, the last truly amazing film he directed was Flip. That's one of the best movies of 2010. And Magic of Belle Isle, that's actually very underrated. I actually really like that one too. But after that movie, he hasn't really been, doing that well. And I'm waiting for him to make another at least solid movie, but it just doesn't seem to look like that. I hope maybe I can be surprised by LBJ because me and being the king of unpopular opinions, everyone knows I have quite a lot of unpopular opinions, but
I might be there with you too because, man, this year
I know.
I don't know, especially in August. I don't know what the hell happened. I saw a lot of movies I was in minority with.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. No, but yeah, this movie just looks fine. The performances do look good and all that. Woody Harrelson, he looks really great. Definitely, he looks like he'll give the strongest performance. And can I just say that guy has been working very hard? Because my God, he's been everywhere this year. Okay, he goes from doing that Lost in London movie to doing Wilson, to doing War for the Planet of the Apes, to doing The Glass Castle, to doing a movie we're going to talk about later on, that 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Don't spoil it, Tony.
Everyone knows it's coming out this month, Kevin.
All right, whatever.
So, you got that's 5 to 6 movies this guy has done this year. Wow, he has worked so hard this year, and I'm happy because I love Woody Harrelson, and I'm glad to see he's had so much work this year. But yeah, as far as this movie goes, it looks fine, and that's all I can really say about it.
All right, guys, so LBJ, if you're looking forward to it, does come out on November 3rd. Just, again, not really much to say about this one. This one, however, I am definitely very intrigued by. I definitely do have a lot to say about, and that is a little film called The Killing of a Sacred Deer. All right, so Killing of a Sacred Deer, this is a film that I have heard a lot about. It looks like a movie that I'm honestly going to love. I like these kind of weird, different sort of films and things like that. I'm definitely really looking forward to this one. I don't know a ton of what it's really about, but that's something I liked about this trailer. It's very mysterious. It's very it's really pulling me in. I don't really know what it's about, but it's really intriguing me. That's very similar to what Brigsby Bear did. I don't know if this is going to match that, definitely, but that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why I praise Brigsby, but not the other trailers, but the first trailer as much as I do, because it's very vague and it doesn't really tell you a lot. And that's very similar with this one. All the trailers I've seen, they don't really tell you much of anything. The trailer that I played, literally that entire song, that is the trailer. Is that little girl singing the song, just little pieces of dialogue here and there. I am definitely very intrigued by this one. There's a really great cast, Colin Farrell, and it is, of course, directed by Yorgos. I don't know how to pronounce his last name right now. I'm blanking on it. But he, of course, directed The Lobster, one of my favorite films of 2015. Just such a weird, different film with just a really interesting concept and just a really interesting look at humanity overall. I think there was just such a fascinating, just really original film. I've really seen nothing done quite like The Lobster, and I really hope this is a great second outing for him. I saw a lot of potential in him as a director, and it does look like he's going more into the serious territory with this one, which The Lobster, was more of a dark comedy. This one looks like a straight up serious film, and I'm really hoping he does deliver with this one. There's just a lot of potential this one has. This one also, ironically, also has Colin Farrell like The Lobster did, but there's so much potential in this film, and I just really hope that it does deliver, because I am definitely very intrigued by this one.
Yeah, I have to say, I know Film Fan's favorite studio of all time, A24, is behind this film. And I have to say, unlike Lady Bird, this one actually does have my interest. Like what you just said, Kevin, the trailer does not give away a whole lot, which is a good thing. It's very mysterious. I forgot the song choice that they used for the trailer.
Lights by Ellie Goulding.
Thank you. Surprisingly, that actually fit pretty well. It was very creepy.
I should know it was Burned by Ellie Goulding.
Yeah. But how they use that song, like it was like used in a creepy manner. And I'm not gonna lie, my body was shaking. Like I was legitimately shaking during this teaser. I was like, holy crap. And I know Kevin and Adam Haskell have praised The Lobster. I still need to see a Lobster. I want to try to see that before I see The Killing of a Sacred Deer. And ironically, that's also an A24 film too. So yeah, this one has my interest. There isn't a whole lot I can really say about it because of how vague the trailer is, but the performances from Colin Farrell to Nicole Kidman, everyone looks like they're at the top of their game here. So yeah, I'm very interested in this movie.
All right.
Oh boy.
Listen, I am trying not to be that person during all of this, okay? This is the third movie in a row. Fourth movie in a row. It doesn't look interesting to me. I do appreciate them of trying to keep the plot vague. I actually do like that, not really showing us really what the movie's about and all that, but I just can't get into it, man. Who knows? The movie could have some really great performances and stuff like that, but I just don't think maybe the story's gonna be all that intriguing. Who knows? It might be, but I don't really think it. Honestly, just doesn't look that interesting, and yeah, I'm really not all that excited for this movie. I apologize if I'm coming off as like.
No, it's fine. There's a lot of movies that like. All right, so Killing a Sacred Deer, guys, if you are looking forward to it, does come out on November 3rd. Very excited on how this one does turn out. This one, the last movie we're going to talk about comes out on November 3rd. Holy fuck, there's a lot of movies.
Man, there's a lot of movies coming out on November 3rd. God,
yeah, there really are.
We're not even the second weekend. What the hell?
Yeah, but this one, I didn't really know too much about this one, but now knowing what it is, I'm definitely very intrigued, and Tony is going to introduce it.
Okay, before I do, how do you pronounce that last word, Kevin?
Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay. Kevin.
Fuck you.
All right, so anyways, that movie is going to be My Friend Dahmer. All right, so trailer already played. Have fun with that, Kevin.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, the first time I watched the trailer, I wasn't sure what to think, but upon rewatching it a couple of times, I have to say, it looks pretty interesting to me. And Ross Lynch is in this film, ladies and gentlemen. Ross Lynch from, Austin Alley.
And your favorite movie.
That very oh no, not don't remind me of that movie.
I had to.
But yeah, Ross Lynch, that very happy-go-lucky, energetic guy from Austin Alley. Yeah, he plays a serial killer in this movie. So that's interesting. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm intrigued to see where he can take his performance. That's definitely the thing that makes me most interested in seeing how he can handle a performance, especially coming from, the Disney Channel days. And the storyline in general just looks very interesting. The other performances look pretty good too. And I'm definitely just very curious where they'll take the storyline. It's not one of those movies where I have too much to say, but all I can really say is I'm intrigued, especially for how Ross Lynch can handle his performance.
All right, so My Friend Dahmer, this is another film that I am definitely very intrigued by. Jeffrey Dahmer, he's an individual that I hate to say is interesting, but, there was Mindhunter just came out recently on Netflix, and that whole show is about, getting into the head of serial killers. And it honestly is very fascinating when you do think about it. And this movie in general, honestly, I'm very fascinated by, because just thinking about it, going to school with a serial killer and not realizing that this guy's going to come up, grow up to be one of the most infamous serial killers of all time. It's just really fascinating to me. I mean, that's stuff that I'm sure none of us ever really can relate to, but I think definitely does look really interesting. And Ross Lynch in this movie, holy shit, it really seems like he's trying to put the Austin Alley days aside from now. I didn't hate Austin Alley. I think it's one of the better Disney Channel shows come out in the past, 5 or so years, but he honestly looks like he's going to give a really, really restrained, but really quiet, but really menacing performance as well. It really seems like he's embodied the character. They got the look down. They got the hair down very well. Just My Friend Dahmer in general. I'm not really aware of the book. I haven't read it or anything, but as I do for most of these movies I talk about. But My Friend Dahmer, I'm definitely very much looking forward to, and I definitely do hope that it does intrigue me, and it is just as interesting as the concept and trailer really did make it out to be.
All right, My Friend Dahmer. I'm actually interested in this movie.
Finally,
from the trailer. Yeah, finally. I actually am interested in this movie. When I saw the trailer, what sparked my interest actually at first when I heard the casting of Ross Lynch as the serial killer, I was like, well, that's interesting. Then I saw the trailer, and it actually seems like he's going to give a really menacing and calm and kind of, collected performance, but also be very menacing, like you kind of said.
Yep.
And I do think it actually looks very interesting. I am quite interested to see where this movie would go, because, as sick as this going to sound, even though they are sick individuals and they're terrible people, serial killers are very interesting individuals. Like, getting into their minds, like when you watch movies about them and stuff like that, or crime documentaries or stuff like that, it is very interesting to see what was their motive, why did they do this? Did they have some trouble in the past that made them push them over the edge to be like this? It's gonna be very interesting to see what they're gonna do with this movie. I am very intrigued, and I do really honestly want to see what they could do with this movie, and honestly the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, and because he did become one of the most infamous serial killers of all time, and I am very interested to see this movie, and I do think it looks very intriguing.
All right, guys. So My Friend Dahmer does come out on November 3rd. The final movie to come out on November 3rd. Don't worry, we got no more movies to talk about November 3rd. Now we're
finally.
Now we're going to move into the next weekend here, where there are not as many movies coming out, but there's still a good amount of stuff coming out. And the next one is a comedy that looks very similar to a movie we just talked about, but actually looks better than the movie we talked about that Double Nine's going to introduce.
I don't know about Daddy's Home 2, the sequel that everyone asked for. Listen, I didn't hate the first one. The first one is decent. It's a decent little movie. It had some funny moments here and there, but it's not a movie I don't see myself coming back to. This just looks awful. Wow, this just looks terrible. Honest to God, this just looks awful. Like, I cannot believe how bad. I honestly think this looks worse than A Bad Mom's Christmas. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on that, but holy crap. Just from the TV spots to the trailers, the only thing that I think that looks interesting about this movie is literally Mel Gibson. That's it. That's the only thing I have any interest with this film. It just looks so god-awful. Oh my god, I can't believe how bad this looks, honestly. This is definitely, like, in my top 3 most least anticipated of, like, the rest of the year. This just looks ungodly awful. So, yeah, Daddy's Home 2. Yeah, apparently the sequel that we all wanted, apparently, because the first movie, I didn't hate it, but, God, it didn't need a sequel. Like, just make a freaking sequel to the other guys already. That's a movie I want to see a sequel to with you, too.
Or hell, an Elf 2. Where's our Elf 2? What the hell's going on?
Right,
no,
like
no, Elf. Elf does not need a sequel. Please, never make
Elf 2.
No,
I'll take that over.
Elf is good as a standalone movie. Do not touch Elf. Please.
I'll take that over another.
That's actually one of the, if not the best Will Ferrell movie I've seen. Do not touch Elf, please.
I'll take it over The House 2.
No Elf 2. I don't want Elf 2.
Will you take it over The House 2, Tony?
I'll give you that.
All right. So for me with Daddy's Home 2, I actually haven't seen the first Daddy's Home. I was just really not interested. I just didn't really feel like watching it. This one, however, I honestly am looking forward to. I think it looks a lot more entertaining. To me, it looks like John Lithgow and Mel Gibson are actually going to add a lot more to the cast here. Yes, there are some dumb moments, I'm not going to lie, but it looks like a film that just looks like a lot of fun, and compared to A Bad Mom's Christmas, it actually doesn't look rushed. It looks like they actually kind of took their time with this one, and, you know, you got John Cena in there. The chemistry between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg actually does look really good here. I've always loved those two together since the other guys, and again, I haven't seen the first Daddy's Home, but I definitely will do that very soon. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm surprised it's not coming out on Christmas. I don't know why they release all these Christmas movies in November. It really doesn't make much sense to me, but Daddy's Home 2, like I said, I am looking forward to it, and yeah.
What's odd is the first one did come out on Christmas, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what the fuck?
That's so weird. But yeah, as far as Daddy's Home 2 goes, I haven't seen the first Daddy's Home. I will change that because, believe it or not, I was interested in the first film when that came out, and you guys know I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan. So I still do want to see the first film. I do still have my interest, and honestly, I am interested in the sequel. And after suffering through The House, I actually watched it recently with FilmFan over here. Oh dear Lord Almighty, can I use a better Will Ferrell film after? Oh, God, fuck that movie. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Daddy's Home 2, and I hope that can make me forget about The House. I really need another good Will Ferrell movie. But yeah, you know, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, they look great here. John Lithgow and Mel Gibson look great as their fathers. And it's funny, yeah, it has the same concept of A Bad Mom's Christmas, but I would agree with you, Kevin, that it looks way better than Bad Mom's Christmas. In fact, this movie looks freaking Oscar worthy compared to A Bad Mom's Christmas for me. Obviously it looks very stupid, but it looks like it could be a good stupid comedy, and I hope it succeeds at that. And yeah, honestly, for a comedy sequel, which I know is very hard to pull off, I am pretty interested in this. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Daddy's Home 2.
All right, guys, so Daddy's Home 2, if you are looking forward to, does come out on November 10th. Like I said, I actually do think it looks very entertaining. Now, guys, I know I said that Thor Ragnarok wasn't the movie that I was looking forward to the most this month. This one is. If this movie wasn't coming out, then it definitely would be Thor. But this movie, I have been so intrigued by since I watched the first trailer, and I am so happy to introduce it. And that is the remake of Murder on the Orient Express. All right, so this film, I know you guys are like, why are they remaking this movie? It's really unnecessary. I haven't seen the original. I haven't, and I don't plan on it. Why? Because I don't want to know who the murderer is, okay? I feel like it's kind of it really is doing the movie a disservice if I do that. So I'm definitely not going to watch the original anytime soon. The remake, however, I am so pumped for. This movie just looks like it is so well casted from top to bottom. I mean, Kenneth Branagh, Johnny Depp, Michelle Pfeiffer, Leslie Odom Jr., just a really incredible cast overall. Josh Gad, really great stuff there. And you guys know me, I love films like this where there's a certain case and the viewer kind of has to play detective, listening to everyone's side of the story, trying to figure out, who the culprit is. I mean, that stuff just really intrigues me. And this movie just looks like it's really entertaining. It looks really intriguing, but it also looks like it's going to be a lot of fun as well. So I am just really excited for this movie. I'm really hoping this is something great. I really do love Kenneth Branagh as a director. I think he's fantastic with, the Cinderella remake really surprised me. And, he looks great here. Just a really great cast overall. And the cinematography in this movie, holy shit. This is easily, I mean, at least from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be some of the best cinematography of the entire year. The whole thing takes place on a train, but the visuals really look stunning here. I am so excited to see the way this turns out. And yeah, so really, like I said, out of all the films come out in November, this is the one that I am absolutely pumped out of my mind for. No Believer by Imagine Dragons did not fit that trailer at all. I don't know why they picked that song. I don't know why they stuck with it for the second trailer either, but I don't care. The trailers were intriguing enough to make me pump for this movie, and I am so excited to see how this does turn out.
All right. Oh, wait. Is it you, Film Fan, or me?
It's you.
No, it's you, okay. Dummy.
Well, it's because you did. So there you go.
Because I was laughing at Kevin, because Kevin's funny.
I am funny. Thank you.
That's debatable. No, I'm just joking.
Funnier than you.
No, it is debatable, your existence, Tony.
Oh, I see how it is, Film.
No, that actually is true. I mean, who knows? You might not actually be here right now, Tony.
Maybe I'm a ghost right now. Maybe Tony,
it's like a ghost story.
Maybe this is not even Tony. Maybe I am what you just said, that ghost from the ghost story.
You better put this in the fucking video.
But yeah, on to the topic of this video. Murder on the Orient Express. I am looking forward to it. I'm interested in it. I like the teaser, and I did like the full trailer. Yes, despite the song choice. And keep in mind, I am a huge Imagine Dragons fan.
Me too.
I would even say they're one of the best modern bands out there, to be honest. But yeah, this honestly looks very interesting. Love the cast here. And I know they shot this movie like literally earlier this year because Josh Gad pulled that wonderful thing with Star Wars The Last Jedi, those little videos he did with Daisy Ridley. So he did that when filming this movie. So yeah, that was a lot of fun right there earlier this year. But yeah, the story looks intriguing. I really like the cast. I actually didn't know this was a remake, to be honest. I just know this is based off of a very popular book.
There's been 2 remakes, actually. There's been 2 movies.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even know about that. So thank you for helping me learn something new, Kevin.
Don't watch them, but
no. Honestly, I do just want to wait to watch this movie.
Yeah, no,
but yeah, I love how vague they're keeping it. Like, I like myself a good mystery film, and I love how vague, like, even the full trailer, a trailer that could have shown a lot. They really are not showing really anything, and I'm happy about that. So, and then Kenneth Branagh, you just said it. He's not only a great actor, but he's a great director too. Cinderella, that was great. And Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, believe it or not, actually liked that one. I'm not a big fan of Thor. He did direct the first Thor, but like all those other movies I mentioned, I have been a fan of. So yeah, I'm ready for Murder on the Orient Express. I am pretty interested in this.
Oh yeah, right. It's my turn. How you doing? All right. Good. So, Murder on the Orient Express. I actually think this actually does look really intriguing. I've only actually seen the teaser trailer. I actually haven't even seen the full trailer. I've only seen the teaser trailer. And I actually like that. I've only seen the teaser trailer because I like how vague they're keeping this, and it really keeps the mystery intriguing to me. And I really do. I like movies like this, like mysteries, like guessing who's the killer, who did it, and you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those. Yeah, it's a whodunit story, and I'm very interested to see how they handle it in this film. And like I said, I didn't know it was a remake either. I only knew it was based on a very popular book. And I'm very interested, and this has a great ensemble cast to it. You know, like you mentioned, we got Johnny Depp, we got Kenneth Branagh, we got Daisy Ridley, we got Josh Gad, Penelope Cruz, Judi Dench. We got a lot of people in this. Yep. So I can't wait to see what they do with this type of mystery, type of whodunit story. It looks very, very intriguing, and I can't wait to see it.
All right, guys. So Murder on the Orient Express, like I said, I am pumped out of my mind for this movie. I am so excited to finally see this movie next week. And yeah, but now we're going to get into the next movie, which actually doesn't look like Oscar bait. It's getting Oscar consideration, but it doesn't look like Oscar bait. And Tony is going to introduce it.
And that movie is, okay, there you go. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, not the Billboard movie.
All right, so this is from what you just said, Kevin. Martin McDonagh, and he directed In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths. I've seen In Bruges in parts. I have to finish it in full, but I've liked what I've seen in parts. And Seven Psychopaths, I've seen in full, and I love that film. And that's a great film because dark comedies can go either way for me, but I have to admit, that was actually legitimately great dark comedy. I was actually... That movie really surprised me. I didn't really have much expectations with that film, and man, did it really surprise me. And 3 Billboards, that trailer looks so great. It looks like it's going to be very funny because of Frances McDormand's character. Like, I was laughing a lot with the trailer, surprisingly, because of her. But then also has a very great blend of having some very serious moments to go along with it. And from the trailer, it looks like the character moments are going to be very well executed. And obviously, Woody Harrelson, once again, he's been everywhere this year.
Yeah.
And he looks really great. Sam Rockwell, one of the most underrated actors. How is that guy not getting enough talk as an actor? And yeah, the cinematography looks great. The direction looks really great by Martin. It looks like it could be just a nice blend of being a funny movie, but also a very dramatic movie. And I hope the balance really works. And yeah, I just hope it's a very well put together movie. It's honestly, it looks like it could be one of the better movies of November, to be honest. So yeah, I'm all up for this movie.
All right, guys. So 3 Billboards for me. I am really interested in this one. I've seen the trailer once, but I did watch it again before we did this movie preview, and I am very excited for this one. Right off the bat, like you said, Tony, the dark comedy really does look consistent here. It looks like they're really embracing it, but also the reasoning for why she puts up the 3 Billboards. I'm really intrigued by the whole idea that, oh, she's doing it because I believe her daughter was murdered and they're kind of like ignoring the crime. I think that honestly is really interesting. It's a very timely concept as well. You know, police in general, there's a lot of things that they cover up, and this is a very good example of that. You got a really great cast here. You know, Frances McDormand, who I'm already hearing is being considered for Best Actress at the Oscars. Woody Harrelson, Sam Rockwell, Peter Dinklage, just a really great cast overall. I don't have too much to say about this one because the trailer, similar to a lot of trailers on here, is keeping things relatively vague, but that's one of the reasons why I am definitely really looking forward to it. And yeah, so I am definitely really hoping that this movie is something great. I've heard amazing things about it, and I really hope it doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, 3 Billboards actually I think looks really good. I do like what was the director's name again? Sorry.
Martin McDonagh.
Martin McDonagh. I did love Seven Psychopaths. That is a fantastic dark comedy. Definitely one of my all-time favorite dark comedies. It is so great. If you've never seen that movie, see it. It's freaking hilarious. And this actually looks very kind of dramatic and, you know, also funny at the same time. It looks really good. I'm really invested in it, mostly because he is directing it. It does seem like it actually could be a really good movie and not Oscar bait, really. This actually legitimately seems like a good movie.
Finally.
And hopefully it could be really good, and hopefully it meets my expectations.
All right, guys, so 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. If you're looking forward to it, it does come out on November 10th. Very much looking forward to seeing how that one does turn out. And now, again, we come to another film that just looks really whatever, and Double Nine's going to introduce it.
Thelma and Louise. No, not that one, just Thelma.
I knew you were going to make that joke. I freaking knew it. I knew you were going to make that joke.
Here we go with another one, folks. Why do you always have to bring me on the ones that I have to always sound like a Debbie Downer for? Why, Kevin?
I mean, it just worked out that way.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine, I guess. I mean,
don't worry, film fan. He saw the Saw franchise. That's his punishment.
Yeah.
True. All right, but it just looks okay. Whatever. That's it. That's all I've got. Honestly, that's just my thoughts on a lot of these. I can't help it. Like, it's just like, it looks fine.
All right, so Thelma, for me, I agree. This really doesn't look like anything amazing, honestly. I like the concept. I like the concept that, like, she develops these powers or whatever. I think the visuals actually look pretty good. Foreign films, for me, this usually ends up happening. They have really mediocre trailers, but they end up becoming really good movies. This was similar with Elle last year. I thought that trailer was relatively mediocre, but I thought the film in general was amazing. I honestly loved Elle. It was one of my biggest surprises of last year, so I could definitely see it going that way with Thelma. Haven't really heard too much buzz about this one or anything like that, but the cast here looks really good. Just, again, foreign trailers don't usually sell the movie all that well for me. And maybe that's just because, you know, in Norwegian or whatever, the way that's done, maybe they sell trailers differently. I know there are different styles throughout, you know, other countries and things like that. But just for me, I really just wasn't all that hooked on this trailer. But we'll have to see the way the movie really does turn out.
It looks boring. Cool visuals, though. Next.
Okay, so Thelma, if you guys looking forward to, it does come out on November 10th. Obviously, you can see we don't have a lot to say about. Next one we definitely do, though, because this is easily one of the biggest films to come out. If it was for Thor Ragnarok, this would be the biggest movie to come out this month.
I think, honestly, even with Thor Ragnarok, I think arguably this is the biggest movie that is coming out. Honestly,
one of the ones for sure. But for me, I definitely am very interested in introducing this one, and that is the highly anticipated Justice League. Okay, so here's my thing with Justice League. I honestly, you know, before watching these trailers, I was really worried about this. Batman v Superman just really didn't do it for me. Like I've said before, my biggest problem with that movie is that I didn't see a reason for these two to fight. They seem like way too similar individuals. They seem like they had very similar viewpoints. Unlike Captain America Civil War, which actually gives good viewpoints, okay, these are why these two are opposing in this film, I didn't think Batman v Superman really gave them much of a reason to fight other than the film needed them to. And it was just very overstuffed. They crammed in so much. Again, I still have not seen the Ultimate Cut, but I thought they crammed in just so much at once, and it just really didn't work for me. Suicide Squad, similar to Batman v Superman, but honestly, I have a fun time with that movie. I know it has a ton of flaws, and I very much recognize that, but that movie's solid. I definitely did enjoy it. There's a lot more I enjoy than most do. And then Wonder Woman, of course, coming off the heels of that movie really impressed me. And again, the reason that impressed me as much as it did is because it was such a simplistic story. There wasn't 50 characters in that film. Justice League, on the other hand, there are definitely a lot of concerns with this film. The trailers, though, have very much impressed me. But this sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Doesn't this sound sort of like something I've said before with a movie that came out last year? Yeah, that was Batman v Superman. And those trailers, minus the one that spoiled basically the entire movie, those trailers, for the most part, really impressed me. DC really knows how to make great trailers. The problem is, the trailers usually don't match up. The film in general doesn't match up to the greatness of the trailers. And I'm really worried for Justice League for a couple of reasons. One, it's very short. A film like this, I feel like, needs to be long. I understand Batman v Superman was long, but this one needs to be. There are so many characters in this that we have not yet been introduced to. And I know you can make that argument with Avengers, but Avengers, there were only 2 characters we weren't introduced to. This has 3. 3 new characters that we still have not been introduced to yet. We don't know anything about Flash, at least in this series. We don't know anything about Flash. We don't know anything about Aquaman. We don't know anything about Cyborg. Those are not characters that we were previously, that we had previous knowledge about in the other films, minus then brief glimpses of them in Batman v Superman. Brief glimpses is not enough for me. I need a separate movie with these characters, then I can see them come together. To me, ever since DC announced their lineup, it's felt like the only reason they're doing this is to catch up to Marvel. And again, from the trailers, it does look like a really cool idea. I like the idea that, Batman and Wonder Woman, they're both teaming up to recruit this group, and, they're going up against Steppenwolf, who Steppenwolf honestly does look really badass. I definitely will say that. The chemistry between all of them looks really good. Ray Fisher's like the one where I'm kind of like, I don't really know about him, but Jason Momoa looks awesome. I can't wait to see how he does. And Ezra Miller, talk about perfect casting. I was very on the fence from being the Flash, but honestly, if he's as good as this film, he honestly might give Grant Gustin a run for his money because he looks fantastic here. Gal Gadot, obviously, fantastic in Wonder Woman, looks great here. There's a lot of things that definitely does have me excited about this, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that is lessening that excitement. So while I want to be out of my mind excited for this film, I can't be all the way excited because there are just a lot of things that for me here. It's just a film that I'm very skeptical about. Like I said, the trailers have been fantastic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the movie is going to be as great. I feel like the movie 121 is just not enough to flesh out all these characters. Maybe it will be. Maybe I'll, if it is, I'll kick myself and say that, hey, they did actually really well. But just because of issues that DC has had in the past, that's really my main concern when it does come to this film. But I've said enough. I don't want to talk about this for 20 minutes because I do have 2 other people here who want to relay in their thoughts. So, Tony.
All right. So here is my thing with Justice League. Do I agree that maybe they could have waited at least until 2019 to release Justice League, so we could get Aquaman, Cyborg, Flash before it? Yes, of course. I still think, honestly, they should have done that. But even regardless of that, I am actually excited for Justice League. And this is actually, believe it or not, my most anticipated of November. I do put this slightly above Thor Ragnarok because in my fall list, I put Justice League as number 6, and Thor Ragnarok is literally underneath it as number 7, so it's not that far off. But yeah, honestly, I do understand Kevin's concern, especially regarding the runtime. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the article saying what the runtime was, I did find that to be a little bit weird. However, I'm not really concerned with the runtime because I will put my trust in DC. If they really feel that's the runtime, then we'll just see how the movie plays out, and hopefully the runtime really does do it justice. And okay,
no, anyways. No, Tony, stop, Tony, stop. I can't do with your cringy puns. Please stop.
But yeah,
you have to say something weird. Please stop.
But yes, that awful pun aside, yes, I think the characters look really great. From the trailers, it does look like it's going to be more lighter. It looks like it's going to have more of that fun vibe because I know something people have complained about with these DC movies is that it's way too dark. It's way too serious. There's not enough fun with the Marvel movies and all that. And Justice League looks like they're going to fix that, which I think is really cool. I'm sure we're going to have our serious moments for sure in the film, but it looks like it's going to focus more on just being fun and have humor and just seeing the Justice League together on screen, from Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, you name it. I look forward to seeing how they're going to work as a team and fight. I am honestly very excited. Visually, it looks really great too. Some obvious green screen from the trailer, specifically with the red sky. But besides that, I do think it looks visually great. I'm curious to see what Superman's role is going to be in this film. And ultimately, it just looks very well directed. And it looks like after all this time, they are listening to people's criticisms. I know these are just trailers, but just based on trailers, it looks like DC has really listened to people's criticisms about not being too dark, too serious, actually lighten up, which honestly, I think is something a movie like Justice League really does need. So for that reason, I am excited for this. This is honestly my most anticipated of November. I'm ready. Bring on the League. I can't wait. Bring it on.
All right.
Hi.
Hello.
Justice League. I do have interest in this movie, obviously, because I love the Justice League. I love DC and all that. But
I know you love Suicide Squad.
I used to, but God, I want to delete that review so badly. But
I didn't like it at first, and now I like it.
But you know, here's the thing with me in this movie, okay? I am really excited for it, obviously, but I'm also a bit hesitant, worried. Honestly.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
You know, I have liked the trailers. There's not been a trailer I think has been really amazing, to be honest with you. Maybe except the first Comic-Con trailer, that's about it. But all the rest of the trailers I thought have just been, you know, good. Gets me excited, but I just feel like this movie might be rushed.
Yeah.
That's my main worry about this, that this movie might be rushed. And it's like, okay, we need a Justice League movie. We need to catch up to Marvel. Let's just put this out there. From just the god-awful looking... I'm sorry, the CGI looks so god-awful with this movie. It looks so terrible. Steppenwolf looks awful. Cyborg looks ungodly awful. Just maybe, hopefully, once the movie comes along, the visuals will actually look good. But they don't look good in any of the trailers. But I do think the action sequences look pretty cool. You know, Flash is definitely the character I'm looking forward to the most in this movie. He definitely seems like he's going to probably still show the whole film. And, you know, I'm excited to see Superman's role in this. I'm very excited to see what Superman will do in this film. So, yeah, I am excited for Justice League, but at the same time, I am worried because I do feel like they are rushing this, honestly.
Yeah, so suffice to say, guys, we're all kind of cautiously optimistic about this film. Real quick, by the way, not a fan of Superman. I've said this so many times. I'm really not a fan of Henry Cavill in this role. I just don't really think he's all that great. But either way, Justice League, I do think it's kind of weird. We have both a Marvel and a DC film coming out, and this comes out the same day as Punisher. So it's going to be very interesting to see which one actually wins in that sort of, you know, struggle. That was very...
You know what got my vote?
Very smart on Marvel's part there. But Justice League, if you are looking forward to, which I'm sure many of you are, it does come out on November 17th. Now we're going to come to a film that I honestly am really looking forward to. I don't really know too much about it, but Tony, again, is going to introduce it.
And I wonder what that could be.
Oh, my God.
I want to super kick you to next Sunday.
Oh, my God. I should honestly, Tony... I should honestly just make a compilation of like shit Tony says, like all the stupid things you've ever said in my live streams, because holy fuck, there's so many.
Honestly, I'd be down for that. But yes, I just spoiled it with that pretty bad pun, and that is the movie Wonder. Okay, Wonder, I am actually looking forward to this movie. I know it's based off of a book. I just think the idea looks very interesting. You know, this kid that has, you know, not the best looking face, but he's trying to fit in at this school. And, you know, the actor playing this kid looks like he'll give a really just very charming performance. That's what it looks like from the trailer. And Owen Wilson, Julia Roberts, who I'm a big fan of, they look like they'll be really great in the film too. You know, like the trailer didn't really say too much, which is a good thing. It just looks like it could be a charming movie, I'm sure, with some emotional moments to go along with it. And just overall, I hope it's a film that makes me laugh, makes me smile, makes me a little emotional. I just hope it has a blend of all those things to just make it just one at least solid family movie.
All right, so Wonder, I have not read the book. I know many have, but I am not aware of the book. I wasn't even really aware of this whole concept in general. Actually, the first person to bring awareness was Kane LaPlante. I don't know if he's around right now, but he actually is the one who basically, you know, told me about this whole thing, which I am interested in this film. I think there's a lot of stuff going for it. The concept definitely does intrigue me. You know, this kid, he's got a really he's got a very weird face, and it's very abnormal and all that kind of stuff. And Jacob Tremblay is a fantastic actor. He really impressed me in Room. That was probably one of my favorite child performances I've seen of the decade, honestly. Right up there with Eller Coltrane and Boyhood for me. It's like neck and neck with those two films. And basically,
Hey.
you know, this film in general.
It is after midnight. You're keeping me up. You have to get up in the morning. Shut it down. You're keeping me up.
I'm doing a video.
I don't care. I don't care. It's after midnight.
I'm gonna wait.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kevin.
I'm gonna wait.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Jesus fuck, but you only get that fucking aggressive about it. Jesus Christ.
Alright, now I won't be able to hear me.
But Jesus Christ, you only get that aggressive about it. God.
Stupid. But like I was trying to say with Wonder, in general, you know, Jacob Tremblay, he's right up there with Eller Coltrane for me. Really great cast here, you know, Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's not a movie like I'm hyped out of my mind for anything, but it just looks like a really solid kids movie. I definitely am really looking forward to this one. I don't know a ton about it, but I definitely do think it looks really solid. So that's really what I have to say about Wonder.
Wonder, I actually do have some hope for. I actually do think it actually could be a really good movie. Very nice, kind of heartwarming film, you know, about a kid who, you know, his facial features are not really the greatest, and, you know, he's trying to struggle with that because, you know, kids are going to pick on him for stuff like that. And it just looks like a really nice, you know, nice little movie. Jacob Tremblay does seem like he'll give a really good performance in the film. I do have interest in it. I hope it is a really good movie, and, you know, it does look very good.
All right, guys. So Wonder, if you are looking forward to it, does come out on November 17th. Now we get to the film that I really am dreading the most, even more now than I really was, and Tony will explain that a little bit later. But unfortunately, once again, Double Nine has the misfortune of introducing.
Can I just say screw you to Kevin for making me introduce all these crappy looking movies?
Oh,
now,
God.
we have everyone's most anticipated movie of the year.
Oh, fuck.
The Star.
Okay, live stream's over. Bye, everyone.
I thought Tony was bad.
Ah, boy, The Star. This looks like a pile of crap. The animation looks terrible. Looks like it's gonna have terrible voice acting in it. This just looks like a pile of shit. Moving on.
God. It seems like every single month, not every month, but every year we have that one anime movie that's like, how the fuck did this get a theatrical release? Last year it was Norm of the North, and this year it's The Star. I mean,
wait, it's not the Emoji Movie for you?
Well, yeah, there's that one too, but that's more like I can understand like how Hollywood would make that, but that didn't look like as much of a direct to DVD film as this one really did. Given besides the star talent, which there's a lot of, you know, really good actors in here. Not Tyler Perry's very iffy for me, as you guys know. I do not really have a good sort of relationship with Tyler Perry when it comes to films. Gone Girl, he was great in, but that's really the only thing I've ever really liked him in. This one, the animation here looks really bad, honestly. It looks like a direct-to-DVD movie. And again, this concept, it's been done to death. Like, just the story of Jesus, we've seen this so many times now, and the fact that it's now being from the perspective of a donkey, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? It just seems like such a tiring concept. Not a single joke in the trailer made me laugh. The cast here just looks really like they're phoning it in. I just really, out of all the movies coming out in November, this is the one that I am definitely dreading the most. Even more so, and Tony's going to, again, introduce that, and he's going to explain that in a couple seconds, but The Star in general, just, I really, All
right. Now, here's my thing with The Star. Before I watched that glorious teaser. When I read the plot synopsis, I was actually interested. I'm not gonna lie, I like the idea that they're making an animated movie surrounding the story of Jesus, but from a donkey's point of view. Like, hearing the concept, that actually could be good, because I am all about these kind of stories, you know, especially if it's going to be like for something like for the kids to sit through, and then of course the parents. Like, I'm all up for that. But I watched the trailer, and oh my god, I felt so insulted. Like, this trailer, I know it's an animated film, but this is one of those rare animated trailers that absolutely offended me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Sony. I can't believe you, Sony. You would take such a beloved story, you know, for the religious people out there, and just basically shit all over it. Seriously, screw you for doing that, Sony. Like, you have no idea how much that pisses me off. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping when I watch the movie, it doesn't feel like they're shitting all over the story, but from the trailers, it just looks like they're making it into a complete joke, and I don't excuse that. That really does piss me off. The animation looks like trash. It makes me sad that there's so many talented people involved in this movie. Like, you know, from Stephen Young, Zachary Levi, Gina Rodriguez, you know, Keegan-Michael Key, the list goes on. I cannot believe such a talented cast is involved in such what looks like an insulting joke of a movie. So, and honestly, this might be my least anticipated of November. Yes, even over a movie I'm going to introduce in a little bit, because, wow, when you take a big giant shit on a story like this, yeah, you cross the line with me. So yeah.
So yeah, guys, the star really dreading this, but even more so now, and Tony is now going to explain why.
Oh boy, I'm gonna say this. This is a close.
Wait. We're skipping over a movie.
No. Actually, Kevin, we're missing a movie.
No. You were going to explain the agreement that we have with the star.
Oh, yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
My apologies. I did not know. I am sorry.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, now that I got that rant out of the way, yeah, we made a little deal. Me, Kevin, and Adam, actually. We were on Skype, and Kevin, believe it or not, you guys might freak out about this. He's actually never seen Big Hero 6. And then obviously that Big Hero 6 animated show is coming to Disney XD very soon. So we made a deal that if Kevin does not see Big Hero 6, the movie, before that animated series comes out, he actually has to sit through the star in theaters. And we can't remind him. And we can't remind him. I can't remind him. Film fan, you can't remind him. Adam can't remind him. Auburn, Brian, no one can remind him. He has to remind himself about that.
Yeah, guys. So suffice to say, I'm looking forward to this movie even less now. I'm really hoping I see Big Hero 6 as soon as possible, because I really don't want to see this shit in theaters. Oh my god. But anyway, film fan.
Yeah. Hopefully, you don't have to sit through it. Yay.
You didn't talk about the star.
I did talk about the star, the one that introduced it. You dumb shit.
Yeah, he was very brief with his thoughts on that.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so the star, and like I said, really not looking forward to it all. However, the next movie we're going to be talking about, I actually am really interested in, and that is a little Netflix film, the biggest Netflix film of the month, called Mudbound. All right, so Mudbound, guys, it seems like every month now Netflix is having, like, they release a couple films, but they have, like, one really big film. September, I'm trying to figure out really what it was in September, but last month was obviously the Meyerowitz stories, and this month it looks like Mudbound, and Mudbound really seems like the film where Netflix is really going all out. Like, they got some big actors in here, like a lot of A-listers, and they're really trying to get themselves Oscars, but it doesn't look Oscar baity. It actually looks really interesting. It's about these two different families in like the South, and you know, they're on this plantation and whatnot, and basically just what they think of each other, you know, how they treat each other, all that good stuff. It kind of reminds me of Birth of a Nation a little bit, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because that film I thought was gonna be really great, and honestly, looking back, I really was not the hugest fan of that one. But Mudbound, I definitely am really looking forward to. I heard Carey Mulligan and Mary J. Blige are both amazing in this film. You got a really great cast here overall, so I'm definitely very interested in how this movie definitely does turn out. Like I said, Netflix has really been kind of hit or miss when it comes to films, and I've been very adamant about how I am really upset when Netflix signing on to films, and I'm even more upset that they are doing even more films next year. It just really is doing them a disservice. Like, you look at a film like the Meyerowitz stories, it's just so well done. I know for you, Tony, it wasn't, but such great characters, such a well done story. And then, of course, the same day they release The Babysitter, and those two films, they don't feel like they come from the same studio. They don't correlate whatsoever. I don't understand the mindset with Netflix. You don't have to sign on to...
What part of shutting it down do you not understand? What part of that do you not understand? Huh? That means you quit now. You turn it fucking off.
Okay.
You go to fuck to bed. You have a midterm. You have a midterm in about 6 fucking hours. So go the fuck to bed. Go now.
All right.
Means shut it down.
I'm gonna shut it down.
No,
I'm turning it off.
Goddamn lid. Go the fuck to bed. What the fuck is wrong with you?